Hey, this is Jarrod Oxendine with Oxendine Law, with offices in the greater Atlanta area and the greater Athens area. We're here to help and serve you through your divorce situation. Welcome to part 2 of your path to happily ever after divorce. The moment everything changes. There's a moment. Maybe it's in the kitchen after the kids are in bed, or maybe it's through a text you finally had the nerve to send, where the words finally hang in the air. I want a divorce. In that exact second, the world as you know it stops existing. The person you've shared a bed with, a bank account with, and a life with is no longer your partner. Legally, they have just become your opposite. It's a jarring, terrifying realization. You feel a mix of relief and absolute panic. At Oxendine Law, we call this the shift. Your life has just become a legal matter, and the next 48 hours are the most critical window for protecting your future. Most people think the first thing they'll feel is sadness, but it's usually adrenaline. Your brain goes into fight or flight mode. You start wondering, do I stay in the house? Do I take the kids to my mother's? Do I move the money? This is where human nature can lead you into a trap. You want to be fair. You want to show them you aren't the bad guy, so you make verbal promises you can't keep. Or you leave the house with nothing but a suitcase, not realizing that you're making small mistakes that could negatively affect your case later. The moment everything changes is when your emotions are at their highest, which means your judgment is at its lowest. You aren't thinking like a strategist, you're thinking like a person in pain. This is where we step in to clear the fog. It's best not to take any action until you've discussed your intentions with a skilled divorce attorney. You may think you're making a move that helps in some way, but without expert legal advice, you may not realize that you're about to hurt your case in another way. Whether it's transferring money, leaving the marital residence, or paying off a debt, all actions have consequences, and you need to make sure they're positive, not negative. We tell our clients, don't mistake silence for safety. While you are mourning the marriage, your spouse might be meeting with an attorney. Our job in these first 48 hours is to build a perimeter. We look at, number one, for example, the digital footprint, changing passwords, securing private communication. We look at the financial snapshot, documenting assets before they disappear. The communication protocol, moving all talk of the divorce to written professional channels. We don't just do this to be aggressive, we do this to be certain. From the moment the D word is mentioned, you have to act as though everything you do or say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Hate the cliche, but it's true. So it's important to build a strategy from the very beginning. The hardest part of this moment isn't the paperwork. It's realizing that the person you used to trust with your life is now someone you have to protect yourself from. It feels cold. It feels like a betrayal of the years you spent together. But here's the truth. Protecting yourself isn't an act of war. It's an act of self-preservation. You are no longer maintaining and managing a marriage. You're managing an exit. And the more clinical and prepared you are right now, the faster you can get back to being the person you actually want to be. The panic of the first 48 hours eventually subsides into a dull ache of what now? You know you're in the fight, but you don't know where the battlefield is. The legal system can feel like a maze designed to keep you lost. That's why in episode 3, we're going to pull back the curtain and show you a map of the legal maze of the divorce process. We're going to walk through the actual steps from the filing to the final decree so you can stop wondering what's coming and start preparing for it. I'm Jarrod Oxendine, and we're just getting started on your path to happily ever after divorce.